Let's do this to the cloud. You don't mind, do you?
No, you're good.
All right.
Is there
So
any questions you want me to ask that'll make for good good content?
no, but I'm a bit upset that you're out Hansing in me, if that's a word.
Oh, but dude, you should see this hairline. It's brutal.
All right. Well, yeah, that's what hats are made for, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it is what it is. It's life. Like I don't care if people judge me.
All good, dude. All right. So yeah, this is gonna go to YouTube. Don't worry, my audience is like 1.5, nothing. It's minuscule.
No, dude, I'm kidding about my hairline. I don't care at all, actually. I just always make that
Okay.
joke.
So this is Dom D'Alessandro. He's got an agency called Nova Launch, and we were just running a session on cold outreach and an easy way to do this for an agency. And so we thought it would make for a good how-to. So Dom's niche. Do you want to tell us?
Yeah, so I'm looking to do marketing for baseball facilities and some baseball coaches,
Yeah,
building an agency around that.
cool. And I think you're using UpX. So you're able to white label the Facebook ads platform as part of the agency, provides a tool, allows them to essentially, I think you've got a done for you, but also there's a bit of a hybrid where it's not 100% done for you, done with you as part of the Facebook ads management as well. You've got, I think the offer right now is 1,300 a month, which is a really nice price point.
Hmm.
Um, you chose facilities because they had bigger budgets, bigger teams, and they were more invested in the idea
Exactly.
behind lead generation and stuff like that. Yeah, cool. So anything we missed on sort of who your target audience is and what you're selling. So what you've got: base high level install, UpX plugged in.
Hmm.
That's it, right? Those two things, and you're off and running. Yeah,
That's
and you
basically it. So like I wanted UpHex for the baseball instructors who probably couldn't afford that 1,300 price tag. They can have a lower price tag and still run their own Facebook ads, but we
yeah,
also do for the baseball ads that we run where we test different like ad copies. It's a little easier for us to test a few different things, a few
yeah,
different offers for them. Hmm.
cool. The reason we're having this conversation is because you started just purely on inbound running your own Facebook ads, which have worked, but we're just talking about the necessity now to diversify basically your demand generation efforts to be split across both inbound and outbound so that you have the highest level of activity in the sales motions, like the pipeline and the activity that's generating pipeline, right?
Yeah.
And the only way to do that beyond having more money, right, to run more ads,
Hmm.
which are already saturated anyway, because that can hit a ceiling. Like you can just not have Facebook spend your ad budget, even if you had $1 million, right? Because of the
Hmm.
saturation. But no one can stop you sending an email, calling a facility, trying to get someone on the phone.
Definitely. I need to definitely up that for
Yeah.
sure. Hmm.
Also, we've got 10 minutes left on this stupid Zoom thing. But anyway, preface this with you also have been running a warm-up campaign in Instantly on your domain prior to doing this for like a few weeks now. All right,
Yeah, I actually just started that a couple days ago. Started
cool.
warming up my
A
email.
couple of days ago. Cool. So you might run that for maybe another like week before you kick off what we're talking about live. But so what
Hmm.
we essentially did was we're not using another plugin to do this. We want to do this outside of high level as the agency. We don't want to use it using an end user tool. Um, and we want to make it easier for the agency to reach like a high volume of scalable outreach, right? So that's essentially what we're trying to do. The screen
Hmm.
too. So we started with I've got Phantom Buster. I'm going to put a link to Phantom Buster in the comments. And there's a really handy Google Maps. We were talking about Instagram. Instagram works just as well as Google Maps. They run slightly differently, but essentially what it is it's a multi-sequenced scraping tool that allows you to extract data from online directories and social platforms, right? And they specialize in social platforms. You create these things called phantoms. So right now we're like, all right, well, we need baseball facilities, Virginia, right? So we just did baseball facility and the state, and we got 120 records, right? And that was kind of the first thing that we wanted to do. And so, looking at if we go back to our dashboard, and we look at the results that we just got from that extraction. So we got 120 places. We look at the information. We just stored it in the cloud. The configuration of this actually allows you to pipe it to a Google Sheet. So you predetermine a Google Sheet, go and say, write the records to each result to a new row in Google Sheet, right? But instantly, if you were just selling rep management, not Facebook ads, this would be golden information, right? We're seeing things like the review count on each complex. We already know so much, right? And we could, we could take this further, right? Where we might say, like, if we reached out to this person, they came back saying, it sounds interesting. What do you got, right? Maybe what I do is, you would say like, let's just get like competitive edge. They're a good one, right? They got 4.9 and 29, right? So I take that information, I come over to my agency, and I go to my prospecting area. I add a prospect. So this is my prep prior to the call. So I've done the outreach already, but this is just cool, right? So was it Lee Hill Drive in Virginia? Yeah, okay, so chuck that in. And now this works really fast, which is to do some prospecting information. It's going to generate this report. So we're about to jump into the demo. I want to have this handy and waiting, right? Prior to the conversation. So we'll let that run. Back over here, what it's doing is it's doing the search, right? So I've just copied and pasted the search URL straight into here. So it's like, give me the URL, I'll run the search, right? Now, easy for you, one-man band at the moment, could do this every Monday. Clean it, put it into your automation on your outreach sequence on a Tuesday, and then you wait for the results coming through Thursday, Friday, right?
Yeah.
Now, not automated. How do we make it automated, right? So what we would do is we would do a new sheet, right? And in that Google sheet, we would just do this, right? So, okay, so you build a sheet and you do something like this, right? You're like, row 1, you could do like the state, right? And the search term, okay? And then this is the final search term. So you want to basically just do like a concatenation from this to equal something, right? So if you look at Google, right, I should be able to search just on this, right? Which I can, without the lat and long coordinates coming through. So I don't need that information. I just need baseball plus facility plus VA. So to scale this out, right, I'm going to do VA, right? And then give me 3 more states because I'm not American. I don't know any of them.
New Jersey.
Which is?
NJ.
Yeah.
And then PA.
PA.
And then we'll do NC, North Carolina.
Okay. So we're going East Coast, right? So then you're going to go baseball plus facility plus, right? And that's the same all the way down. And then this is a concatenation of that plus that, right? So the final search term is going to be that.
North America.
You got it?
Yeah.
So now I can just list all the states and I'm going to have all my search terms, yeah? So then what I would do is I would come back to Google Maps and I'd go to my dashboard and I'd go, let's do a Google Maps search export, right? And I'm going to say, I want to turn this on some sort of daily launch, right? Alexa speaker's going off here. Alexa, stop.
I'm not sure.
Alexa, unpair.
Now disconnected from Stevie's iPhone.
Gotta love it. Working from home problems. So Google Maps search, let's have a look. So let's set it up, right? So essentially what I want to do is I want to say, like, do this once per day. And each time you do it, run that, then that, then that, then that. If I run this every day at 9 a.m., by the end of the week, I've got 1,000 baseball facilities, email addresses, and information, right? Well, that's what I want, right? So grab the information. So the Google is, we're going to say, no. We're going to find, it's the URL of a Google sheet, right? And we're going to tell it which column has the search, right? String. So we don't type that in. We go here, share, and I go Google Maps, baseball, facility, extractor, template, save. And then I do anyone with the link can get it. Copy that, copy that, copy that URL. So it's the sheet URL. Go back to here, paste that in there. And then we say, column, final search term, contains the search query that we want to run. Click save. And then you're like, cool. On a daily basis, because we're going to launch this once per day, let's run the first 5 rows and give me, right, 200, and it says Google Maps only displays 200 search results, blah, blah, blah. Do we need the GPS coordinates? No, we don't. No, we don't care, right? And then it says name your result file, right? And you don't really need to do that. And then you can say, essentially, it'll create a second CSV file that only has the information you want. Now, I just want to pull out all the information. So I'm good, right? Click save. And then essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, launch this repeatedly once per day and notify me if there's an error. Save. So I'm running that, right? Daily. It's going to put in a new search, right? So just share my screen again. Every day I can log back in and I can see, like, you know, the results. The results are going to come through, as you saw before. Then what do I do with that information? Well, like if someone's come back saying, you know, yeah, cool, we want a demo, right? I can come back over to wherever I was here, and this is Competitive Edge, right? And it's like, cool, like they don't have a text-enabled business number, which means I can sell missed call text back. They don't have a WordPress website, which means I could probably say to them, like, you know, give us a look at your website. Your website's terrible, you know, all in one platform, do your website as well. Their reviews, we know they're good. This is one of the good ones, right? So they've got a fantastic reputation. So maybe we don't talk about that. Most of them giving 94% of people leaving 5-star reviews, but you could use that as an anecdote to say, like, well, someone's paying attention to your online presence, right? But how are you doing with blah, right? Gives you examples of reviews, la, 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 la. Now, you know, Yext, right? Are they listed in all of these places? And it's basically saying, like, we have no idea on all of these different listings, the details, right? So they don't even exist here. So you can resell that $12 a month or whatever it is, right? take this information, share it with whoever after the call's finished. When they say, can you share that with me, and I'll share it with the team or whatever, right? Save as a PDF, right? Just as it's just a talking point, right? It's not going to be the best selling pitch deck you've ever had in your life. In addition to that, so, I am sort of, jumping around a little bit here, but so that runs, we get our information. What we then do is we take all of the results, right? And let me just go back to Google Maps, right? We do a Google Maps search. No, I didn't do that already. Yeah. Google Maps search to contact data, right? So let's have a look at the information around this one. So for each row in a CSV file, which is going to be, this is going to have like all my information, right? With all these different facilities, right? I'm going to say at 9 a.m. run this search and then give me 100 results. Take those 100 results and then find all the contact details, right? So you chain them into what's called a flow. See how it says use this flow? So you run stage 1, find the businesses. Stage 2, extract all the contact information about these businesses, right? And then you just end up with a CSV with reviews, ratings, email, phone number, everything you could ever imagine. That's a clean list of information that you want to start with, right?
Yeah.
More information here, blah, blah, blah. Couldn't be simpler, right? So that's awesome. Then we were just talking about what I would do to sort of do my cold outreach, right? Which is I have a basic snapshot. It's baseline, is what I call baseline. Essentially is what I would provision to any of my, I used to run cold outreach agency, and this would be the baseline for any cold outreach. So I would go into my contacts, I would import that list right here, right? And of course I would then create a list from that. So it's a smart list when you're upon import. So I know exactly where that list is. And I'd be like, Virginia facilities, and I'd split them out, something like that. Load them all in, make sure they've got emails, make sure they've all got phone numbers or whatever. Then they're in there, right? And then you would just like, so then I'd just be like, let's just do test. And then we'd be like, cool, this guy, add. And then I'd be like, yeah, I want to stick him in one of those ones that we were just talking about before. So the easiest way to do this would just be grab my cold outreach campaign. And then these are all chained together, right? So there's 7 things here. The first one segments between, it just checks like, is there a phone number? Yes, no, right? If there's a phone number, let's use that to our advantage and send them voicemails and SMSs saying, tried to call you, left a voicemail, blah, 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 right? So this is seriously how I would do it, right? Like, so then I'd be like, all right, voicemail and SMS, right? I want to drop them in here. I do a split test. You don't have to do this, right? But like, I would put a column and mark 50% of them with tag A, tag B, vary the message slightly, and just gives me essentially what is this? Excuse me, a split test. Voicemail here, right? I go to this tool over here, Vocaroo, and I click record and I go, hey, it's Dom, Nova Launch, blah, 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 blah. We're amazing. Tried to call you. I'm going to send you a follow-up SMS. Reply yes. If you're interested, check your inbox, check the spam folder in case it went there. Cheers, bye. Right. Then I'm going to go over here, pipe some stuff into ChatGPT, and here we go, right? Increase your baseball facilities leads with our Facebook ads platform, blah, 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 blah. It's going to give me all the contact, the copy for my first thing, right? Right, so I've got a subject line, which is pretty cool. So let's just grab this is voicemail SMS. So that first SMS, like just left you a voicemail, right? And I help, right? Baseball facilities get more leads with our Facebook ads platform. Love to discuss with you. Reply with a yes. And I'll send you a calendar link or a demo, whatever, right? It's not about the copy, it's about the process. And then, you know, that's my VM and SMS, right? So that happens independently of email. If you wanted to include email as well, you would use the number 3, which does email here, right? And voicemail and SMS, right? So it covers all the bases. So email 1, we get a subject line. Subject line is going to be that, right? And then, you know, hey, contact name, right? And then I'm going to be like, hey, facility, team name, blah, blah, blah. Make it look all nice and professional. Boom. Change the information to suit you, right?
Do you recommend putting this stuff in a template and making it look all like nice in the email campaigns, like section?
Yeah, like, so typically what I would do to build this out is I would do, you know, go in here and I would go new Google document, and I'd literally just go like, this is email touch 1, subject line, body, right? And I'd paste it all out like this, format it in here, and then when you're ready, you copy and paste, right? Essentially what you're doing though is in each touch point, right? The call to action, right? Book a time or a demo here. That's going to be a trigger link. The trigger link, right, is going to be whatever your demo landing page is for the funnel. It's going to be a nice video of you, professional basketball. Did I say baseball?
That's all.
Ex-pro baseball, right? Nice video landing page. It's a VSL essentially, right? Get them into the secondary funnel from this funnel. Fill the calendar, fill it full of appointments, right? So, you know, that motion, what did it take us? Not very long, right? But spend 4 hours, build that, right? And then it's like automate. You can automate it pretty much in its entirety, right? Or you know that you share your time, because, you know, you don't have to do anything for inbound, right? You just put money in the Facebook poker machine, right? Keep going, right?
Yeah.
But every Monday, it's like, cool, like, but you, and I think you learn more about your market by doing this type of research, because, you know, people are going to respond with, go away, I hate you, and whatever. But some people are going to be like, we already use blah, right? And maybe that's an agency that you're not aware of yet, or they already use a platform that you're not aware of, a competitor. You get so much intelligence because you're having a 2-directional conversation with your market, rather than them just seeing stimulus and they either respond to the stimulus or don't, right? So that's why I feel that multi-channel outreach can drive market intelligence, because of it being more of a, you know, bi-directional conversation that you're essentially having. So even if someone says, go away, I hate you, you get their email signature on the bottom of that email, and now you've got their phone number, right? And you might just call them up and say, like, listen, right, why are you such a dick? Right? But you can say, like, so what was it about what I'm pitching you? Like, I'm a sales guy, I've got my own company, like, I'm trying to make a living here. What did you like about, I didn't like your approach? Or maybe that you change the tone of the email slightly based on if 5 people say that, right?
Yeah.
Becomes statistically significant or whatever. So yeah. So in a nutshell, that is all I would do for your cold outreach. And I think that you would smash it, right? Like, if you've got 100 results in the first thing and they're all really clean, I would go Google Maps, Instagram, Facebook, and just try and build a database, right? And then, for you, that's when you can start, you've got cold outreach, which is you're sending an email with a call to action. The call to action drives it into the funnel. But then you also want to say, well, if someone went to my funnel, but they didn't take any action, but they opted in to whatever your opt-in is, because it's, hopefully you're running it like a VSL. So there's an opt-in. So they're leaving with value, but there's no commercial exchange of, there's no business going on. They're not getting a demo. They're not proceeding.
Mm-hmm.
But they've downloaded your free ebook. They've watched a video more than 50%, whatever it is. That's your third funnel, which is every month webinar. You've got all the emails of all these baseball facility marketing people, owners, or whatever. And now you've got a distribution list of all these people that I reached out to. They went to my VSL. They didn't take any action, but they opted in, which means I got permission to invite them to a webinar. And when they come to the webinar, and now you're constantly engaging a database and a distribution list of semi-warm leads, right? And on and on and on it goes, right? And by the way, everybody that lands on your VSL is triggering your Facebook pixel to become a lookalike audience to better improve your Facebook ads. So
yeah,
it all improves. Yeah. So
that's really smart. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to cut it there, but I'm putting on a little bit of my YouTube voice at the moment. So hope you enjoyed it. In the comments below, I'm going to link out to Phantom Buster. And this snapshot, it's nothing special, but if you want it, I'll link it to you. But just ask for it. So cheers, have a good one. Anyway.
Sorry, I was trying to take all this in as well. So I was like, listening.
So yeah, so look,
that was awesome stuff, man. That's good. That's really cool.
That's an hour of work, right? Just do that hour of work, right? And then, if you build the sequences with the right information in, you just get to the point where you're like, all I need to do is keep adding gasoline to that fire, right? The gasoline being a clean list of data, right? And the clean list of data comes from your own prospecting and your own typing in searches into Google Maps and whatnot, from people hitting your page and triggering the pixel, because then that's creating a new audience, right? And people opting into things, right? So you've got essentially you've got these three audiences that are always getting your brand in front of them in some way, right? You can't just let them go. The statistics around how many times they need to have your brand in front of your face before they make a decision is about 7 or 8, right? So they need to watch a case study. They need to watch a demo video. They need to get 2 emails from you going, hey, you haven't taken any action yet. Limited time, get in, blah, blah, blah. And by the time they get the 8th touch from you across Facebook, Instagram, voicemail, email, they're like, all right, let's see what this guy wants, right? But it's a proven statistic that you need 7 or 8 touches, right? So
yeah, I mean, mine's only getting 7. I think it's literally just 7, right? And it's nothing as in depth as that. I mean, I could literally show you it if you want. That it's nothing close to that. That would have been funny if I showed you this on the YouTube and you just absolutely roast it to the dude who sold it to me when I was just a little baby in GoHighLevel and didn't know what I was doing.